Hey guys, it's Sid here with SVT Performance, and we're here in New Smyrna Beach, Florida with Justin Starkey at VMP. We are at VMP Performance. He's going to take us on a little walk around the shop here. We're just going to see what's going on.
Yeah, but first, let me make sure you don't have COVID.
Oh yeah.
96.5, you're approved.
Okay. No anal swab this time. All right, let's get going.
All right.
First thing is, I really like your clock you have up here on the wall.
Yeah.
That's a very nice setup. This thing
changes colors. It's actually got a remote too.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So, well, you know, this is VMP World Headquarters. Many have seen it. Here we have the incredibly talented tuner Michelle.
Hello. Nice
and the rest of the tuning office, who seems to be out tuning some stuff.
All right. Well, hopefully they're working.
Always.
Okay, he's on the phone. All right.
That's if you call in and order something. These guys are.
Sales, they're selling and supporting lots of stuff. My office, don't go in there. It's a mess. We're going to show you some cool stuff around the shop, though. All right. First stop on the tour, the media room. There's some fuel system stuff that you'll see a little bit later. But this is our staging area for pictures and stuff. And over here we have some fresh parts. Fresh throttle bodies.
Yeah. Those are
now
nice and shiny. We always like our shiny parts.
Yeah, definitely. They're just that much better.
Okay.
Now this is going to piss some people off, though.
Oh well, we're specialized in that, so.
Yeah, it happens sometimes. Yeah. So this is our 03 Cobra throttle body. It was the only mechanical linkage throttle body we made for years because, well, 03 Cobras are not drive-by-wire, and we needed a bigger throttle body, so we made one. But it doesn't really fit the 03 Cobra. It's freaking huge. It loses the intake idle air valve control here, so I'm sure some crazy horsepower addicts will figure out how to make that work, but this is primarily designed for Odin and Gen 3R running standalone.
Oh, sweet. So I'm guessing that's something that's coming out in the future, or if you want to do it now, you want to get a Motec or an AEM or something like that.
That's the throttle body to get.
All right.
So this right here is pretty cool. This came in. This is our 2020 Shelby GT500 that we worked with ATI to design. 2020 Shelby GT500 overdrive balancer. 20% overdrive balancer. The inertia ring is now moved to the first sheave closer to the front main. The whole setup gets actually like half a pound lighter. So these will be up on the website soon. The hub's a little bit smaller. All awesome stuff. Overdrives your blower. Also gives you the ability to go up to 10 rib. I got to finish the rest of those parts.
Very nice. And I'm guessing that's going to be a lot safer on the crankshaft snout than some of the other setups.
ATI has the best dampening in the industry, and the weight is in the right place on that setup. We got some lonely 3100 rotors right here. So what I really wanted to show you, though, is kind of the design to prototype to production process.
Okay.
So we got an engine here, and we designed this, we 3D printed it, we test fitted it, and then we had the real parts made. Added an extra bolt hole over here. But this guy is continued belt system development here at VMP for different supercharged applications. But basically, I think I put these in the wrong place. Let's see. Here we go. So basically, this is going to facilitate a tensioner mounting right here. And I'm calling this the AC delete bracket because you will no longer have to run an AC compressor if you don't want to on a Gen 3R or Odin supercharged car.
Yeah, which is pretty significant for a race car because you don't want to be running air conditioning Even though you're in Florida, you know, air conditioning is important down here. I hear it adds $1,000 to a used car price if your air conditioning actually works. Sometimes you want to delete it to make some more power.
Head out here to the shop. Superchargers are in kind of scarce supply in the industry right now because they're selling so well, but rest assured that our partner Magnuson is pumping them out for us every single day, and they are shipping out to customers. We've got a couple right here.
And that seems to be one of the stories that I keep hearing from a lot of people in the industry is just parts. Can't keep up with parts because a lot of people have been home working from home, and while they should be doing their actual job, they've been out working on their car. And so parts have been flying off the shelf. And then, you know, a lot of places, your major supercharger manufacturers, a couple of them are out in California, Magnuson being one of them, they're forced to work shorter hours. So
well, yeah, and I mean, we've been really successful in keeping parts in stock, and Magnuson's been really successful in manufacturing and shipping them to us. So we've been able to keep our wait times almost non-existent.
well, that's great. That's way better than a lot of people are managing these days.
Hey, Jeremy.
What's up, Justin?
Travis was just admiring the clock you made for my birthday.
Oh, call.
So this GT500 here is fully emissions compliant, and we're actually doing some extended testing on catalytic converter temperatures and exhaust gas temperatures.
And I'm guessing the testing's finding out that they get very hot when you make a lot of power.
It's a really important part of tuning, is managing those exhaust gas temperatures, and it's something I'm going to do some more videos on and stuff.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the way of the future is leaving the cats on this stuff, or having to move to a greener solution rather than just cut the cats off of it and go down the road. I think those days are basically over.
We've actually got a 2020 Shelby GT500 at the emissions lab right now for our carb legal product testing.
Yeah.
Jeremy, can I drop this thing down?
You sure can.
Thank you. Look at that, he's still working.
I know, it's amazing.
He's so fast.
I get it done before it gets down.
Looks like you guys have made a few upgrades to this car since the last time I was down.
Yeah, yeah. It's like everything here at VMP. It's a nice little test mule.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's how we get the fun go fast parts, is somebody has to build it, test it. So this is the car that a lot of your GT500 parts are being run on right now. And one I noticed was the new cooler down here. I don't think you guys had that on it last time I was down.
CNR built us that super nice auxiliary cooler for the engine radiator system. So we've got that puppy on there. So, all right, you saw the 3100 rotors sitting there on the shelf. And I'm going to tell you that supercharger development is not done by any means. And this car actually has one of the aftermarket superchargers we've developed with Magnuson on it right now. As you can see, it's got a different throttle body bolt pattern. This is adapted to a stock style 108, but we have 112s, 115s, and 120s being made right now for this car.
So, for those who may not know, this is an adapter plate to run your standard bolt pattern throttle body.
Correct.
What is the bolt pattern is specifically cast for?
That's like the it's something from the Chevy world.
Oh, okay.
Okay, like Nick Williams does a lot of it. It's just big.
Yeah.
It takes up to like a 125.
Well, that's one of the things the GM market's had for a long time, was very large bore single
Blade mechanical.
Round throttle bodies. Yeah. Whereas in the Ford market, we've gone to either dual bore or oval.
Yep.
Way more than these round bore designs.
And we could have gone to dual bore or oval with this car, but maintaining the factory look while upgrading it was really important to us. Maintaining some fitment with some readily available cold airs and stuff was important to us. So yeah, we decided to stay around.
Yeah, and that's a pretty smart move because you're going to make that blower more accessible to more people and have greater aftermarket support if you do that, rather than have to have your bespoke intake pipe or something like that.
Right.
It's going to make the kit more expensive.
Right.
So yeah, just keep it simple.
And this has got our billet high flow water manifold. This has got the 16 AN to 3/4 adapters that we make. It's got our billet fuel rails. And we are testing a Y block setup on this one. Notice how clean that looks, because I won't run a bunch of hoses and an ugly Y block around the engine bay. It's got to all be tucked in there and tight.
Yeah, it looks really nice.
So
And clean.
Yeah, and clean.
Thank
And well put back together.
Thank you.
Yeah, that is a very clean setup you guys have with that fuel line running there instead of, you know, a hodgepodge of hoses. Wash the car.
yeah. I'm just I'm looking around the shop here to see what else we got, Travis.
It's pine pollen season in Florida.
Oh,
so,
in Florida it is so bad, but it's coming to an end finally.
yeah, I get to go home to that in 2 weeks.
Yeah, this is just once again 3D printed the adapter and then went and had it made out of billet, and various grip tech pulleys. You know, we use a lot of these during supercharger testing, just because we know for sure the belt's not slipping. That's our billet water manifold. Sorry, this one's really scratched up, but it has a modular design where it takes 3/4, 1 inch, and the D-port fittings. Little something we were test fitting under the hood of that car. Obviously, oh yeah, here's the big 112 puppy right here. So yeah, that's something we were testing too. But man, that's the
GT500 world right there.
Yeah, that's the nickel tour of what's going on at VMP right now.
Yeah.
We're staying busy tuning, shipping parts, and trying out new things on the dyno.
Yeah. A lot of nice cars. I know we saw this one last time we were down, getting some more stuff, and got Chuck's car over here. That's always a development mule, it looks like.
Yeah, so his car is actually, it's going to get that new balancer that we developed with ATI and that new AC delete bracket. So it's actually a part right now for me to do the personal test fit and make sure everything lines up and measures out right, belt alignment is good, and all that stuff. So
yeah, that's pretty important before you order 100 of those to make sure.
yeah, really important.
Yeah.
I mean, that's, man, we go to so much effort to line everything up in CAD, measure it, check clearances, test fit it, 3D print it, test fit it, then do a small batch of actual real parts, and then do a full production run.
Yeah.
Because like we find stuff, and I am super picky. Like for example, the Odin upper Fiat bracket, we made some revisions to this bracket where we moved this idler for better belt wrap, and we moved this idler for better tensioner clearance.
I think that's exactly what you guys were working on with this car the last time we were down here and we showed it off, was working on, I think you had maybe 2 or 3 versions of that bracket, and you're just testing which one actually worked the best.
Yeah.
And moving pulleys around.
So
yeah, Chuck's car is perpetually apart and being improved upon.
but he's gonna drive it this weekend.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, oh yeah, I guess we're gonna see him out at OSW this weekend, so that's great. But
on, good old Track Attack. Still has the Predator 5.2 engine in it, but has an Odin atop it right now. And of course, this car really, we're gonna sell this car soon, I think. But
I've been hearing that for like a year now, I think.
Do a little bit more on it. We got the narwhal snorkel right here, and sorry, this is like terribly dusty, but this has a custom inlet, custom throttle body, intake arrangement, everything on it for testing. Yeah, that's going to go on the dyno soon, and we're going to see what our efforts yielded as far as horsepower goes.
Yeah, and for people that are freaking out over a little bit of dust, from South Carolina. This is Florida. You guys have the pine pollen season down here. I can guarantee you the hood was probably open on this car for about 6 hours one day, and that's what you'll get.
And then it just takes like a rain with a light mist to make it all stick and, you know,
I know.
huddle up and yeah.
Luckily it cleans off easily.
Yeah.
But yeah, it goes nuts in the south with pine pollen.
We do keep the outside of this car spotless and Cerakoted and everything else.
Yeah. And I can't wait to come back in a few months for you to tell me we're just about ready to sell this car again.
Oh man, Travis.
And it's always great to see some of the older stuff up here getting a little bit of work done to it as well. Soft spot for those cars.
Yeah, I mean that was my first Mustang, and out of 2000 bright Atlantic blue 3.8 liter.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah. And it last had twin turbos on it, last ran tins, and I'm moving out of my old house, out of the old shop, so it's gonna get moved over here, and I think this year it's gonna get a Godzilla swap.
Yeah, we'll see what Rebecca has to say about that, because I think you've got to finish her cars first.
That's a good point. It's a good point.
Yeah. But yeah, that'll be neat. I think the Godzilla swap stuff is going to take off in the next few years, especially if we can get some more support for it. It'd be really nice to have an aluminum block, but you know, this car didn't come with aluminum block from the factory. You know, it had an iron 2 valve in it. So, so not that much of a step backwards. It's a little bit of a weight penalty, but not that much if you compare it to the weight of, you know, the 4 valve Coyote heads and everything. So
it's a pretty simple engine, so it doesn't weigh much.
Yeah. But well, thanks for taking us around, showing us through the garage and everything. We'll be back with some more in the next few weeks here at VMP, and until then, please subscribe, like, you know, all that normal YouTube-y stuff, and head over to svtperformance.com for all the latest news, reviews, and information on your favorite Ford powered vehicle.